R.I.P. to all the real niggas worldwide.
Yes. So you guys ready? Everybody's ready? Yeah?
Ready?
Ready? All right, cool.
Ready?
So welcome to another episode of the Real and Unapologetic Podcast. I'm your host, Unapologetic Reef, joined with my cousin, your boy,
The Real C.
All right, and today's show, episode 31. All right, on today's show, we got two featured guests. Lana Reed is award-winning author, speaker, and host of The Male Perspective. It's a podcast. And make sure you check it out. The Male Perspective, check it out. And then we have Annette. Not sure exactly, but I do know Annette, retired Marine. She works in some high-level government job with admirals and stuff like that. So we don't know exactly, but that's what we calling it. So today's show, ladies, you get to ask us 5 questions, and we get to ask you guys 5 questions about, that you want to know about black men, and we'll ask you the same thing that we want to know about black women.
Let our viewers get an idea of who we're working with today. If the ladies could introduce themselves and give us a little background on yourselves. We'll start with you, Annette.
Okay, so I'm originally born and raised in New York. Went to elementary school up in Harlem. Joined the Marine Corps after I went to college for a couple of years up in Syracuse. Retired from the Marine Corps. Did several federal jobs to include a tour at the White House. Now I work for a Department of Defense agency and love what I do. I'm also a real estate agent in Virginia, and I'm glad to be here with you all today.
All right.
Nice.
And Miss Lana.
Yes.
My turn. Well, first, let me say I feel a little out of place. I'm the only one who's not from New York around here.
Where are you from?
Uh-huh. Yeah, where you from? Yeah.
I was born in North Carolina, left when I was 5 years old because my pops was in the service. So lived in Japan, lived in the Netherlands for a while. Then pops got out. We ended up in California, went to UCLA, got married, been there forever. And just doing my thing, started doing talks with relationships and men and women. So this is right up my alley here. So
nice.
We're going to see how this goes.
We might be in the wrong. Yeah.
Right. Might be in trouble.
This is what you do. This is what you do. Right. This is what you do. All right.
Okay, but anyway, let's go because I'm ready.
You ready to go? All right. She looks. Okay.
You ready?
So let's start this show off right. We're gonna keep it right, and let's do ladies first.
Mm-hmm.
So, ladies, you could start off. Lana or Ned.
Want me to go first? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, let me do the question setup first, and then I'm gonna go into my question. All right. But
that's what I'm talking about.
So this is the story. So a while back in my little inner circle, I was observing a young couple, 26, 27, right? They were dating. She was getting her master's, and he was a brother. He had gotten into some trouble, did some time, but he was out and he was working. I think he was a forklift driver at a warehouse, but she was really feeling him. And she was trying to, put him on game and tell him this is how you can start the business and stuff like that. But she was really trying to, work with him. Right. And he ended up ghosting her and going for a sister that had 3 kids with 3 different daddies. So my question is, when you guys have an opportunity to date up, why do y'all date down?
And I think it all depends on the brother, because right. I don't want to put every one of us in that box, but you got a lot of guys out there who are afraid of what they can be, because becoming something that they're not right now is going to mean a big change of life for them. And some of the guys just aren't, I don't think, mentally ready to do that, because if you're talking about moving up in stature, you're talking about doing something totally different from what you normally do. That means that if you're going to do it the right way, you're probably going to have to leave a lot of people behind that are going to want to hold you back You know, they want you to stay. They want you to stay in that crab barrel with them. They like, no, we can't let you go out. You are boy. You are boy. No, and he might not be willing to do that. So, and a lot of guys feel they have that stigma. Oh, you done hooked up with this honey now, and she done changed you. Now you all whipped and all that. So I don't think a lot of guys are mentally prepared to make a big change and become something that they can be and push themselves to their full potential. I think it scares a lot of guys.
But to spin off what you said, also you hear the conversation, guys say, I want more, I want better, I want to take it to this level. But when you're presented with that level, it's like, oh no, that ain't what I wanted. That ain't what I wanted.
Right, but I think a lot of guys, that's part of their game. They want the woman to feel that, you know what, this guy is about something. He wants to move up in life, but that's just part of the game. He's like, yeah, I got to make myself more appealing. You know, she's going for her master's, or she's an executive at a big company. I got to try and impress her with stuff that I want to do. Maybe talk a little bit about my potential, but don't tell her that I'm really scared to reach my full potential.
That's real. No, that's. I was gonna spin off that, and I was gonna say when you say game, that's what I think it was. You know, a lot of guys, they're not, like she was saying, they're not ready because they're still playing the game. But they're still playing the game. So, like she said, they're gonna just tell you what you want to hear until they get what they want, whether that's just to hit it or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Execution, and then they move. You know what I'm saying? They move on, guys. And it's harsh, but it's reality. That's what men do. You know. And I think women do the same thing, but we're not going to talk about that. We're just saying what men are doing, you know. We leave that to another show. We ain't going to get that, you know. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take it. I mean, you know, you handed gold and you're like, that's all right. You know, I'll take this little piece of tin foil, but you know, hey, if it make it,
you got a diamond over here work trying to help you, and you're going to go back to, you know, the coal. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm going to be honest, it's easier though for it also for, not to cut you off, but it's easier for them to go back to something that they're getting out of their comfort zone. So a lot of people don't want to be uncomfortable. It's a change that they're not ready for.
Yeah, some guys, not only are they're not mentally prepared to deal with the change, but a lot of guys look at it as them losing some of their power. If they get with a woman that's higher in stature than them, regardless of whether or not they're trying to bring him up to that level, he's still going to feel, and this is just my opinion, he's still going to feel that he's losing some of the power and the dominance in the relationship. And
I was going to ask you that, Chad. So was it about power and control? That if she's leading him, does he feel like he's lost some kind of control there?
Yeah, because and like I said, I don't know this gentleman that you were talking about, but to me, that's him saying he wants to be in control, because now I'm sure if the argument comes out, he's like, who gonna want you but me? You got 3 kids. How you gonna get another man? I'm here right now.
Okay.
You know,
you talking about on that side? Okay,
on that
I see
side.
that.
Okay.
Right.
So, you know, right. He's like, yo.
He still has the power there. He still has the power at that home, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if he was to go up, then he would lose the power there because she would be making more than him, and then basically helping him. Yeah, I see that.
Okay. So then that taps into like his concept of manhood. What my sense of being a man is.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So are men really intimidated by women that make more money than them? Do you not see that just because she makes more money than you, that this is still about team?
Yeah, it's just that, like I said, we don't like to put all black men in that box or all men in that box, but yeah, they're guys that just not ready, and they're brought up, you know, the old school way. You know, from the 40s, they're still trying to live in the 40s and 50s. And you know how it is. Now, if you don't adapt and you don't evolve in this society, you get stuck in your old ways. And those old ways can become a hindrance as far as your personal growth, your mental growth. And again, it all depends on how they were brought up. You know, if you were brought up where, you know, your mom was strictly a housewife and didn't work outside the home, and dad came home and the dinner was on the table at exactly 6 o'clock every day, and that's what they're going to want. That's what they're going to see, you know. And it all depends on how much exposure they've had how much exposure they've had to the real world, the way it is now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But how realistic is that, though, Chad? I mean, let's keep it real. If a man is putting that much on himself to say, I want a woman that's gonna be like my mom, did they really see that, or they live in some fantasy world? And are you gonna miss out on a really good woman who can do those things and bring you up to a certain level that you really want? If you say, I want this great life, and you got a woman like Lana described that's getting her master's and can say, hey, if you want this, then this is what you need to do to get there, you gonna pass that up because you want power and control over somebody that you could say, well, I did this, and without me, you're not gonna have.
Yeah,
and she ain't going nowhere.
They guys are weighing stuff. They like, all right, you know what? I could have the nice life, but do I really want to give this up? And like I said, a lot of guys aren't mentally tough enough or mentally prepared to give up what they perceive to be the control and the power in a relationship.
So why is that? Are the men that came before them not teaching them like this is the essence of manhood? If you have a woman that's willing to be on your team and be your partner, she should. Leadership ebbs and flows in relationships. Sometimes I'm a lead, sometimes you're gonna lead.
But that doesn't take away from your manhood.
Right, but some guys need that to express their manhood. Like I'm serious. I have friends today who I'm like, I mean, their wives are totally subservient to them, and I mean when you see how they act once they come in the presence of a woman who knows how to handle herself, who's not going to take a back seat and everything. They always have problems with them. They cannot deal with it, and he'll be like, yo, straight up, this chick. I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? She got problems, man. She got issues. I'm like, why? Yo, she shouldn't be talking to a man like that. I'm like, she's an adult just like you. What are you talking about?
Right.
No, but that's how that's how he was brought up, you know. And look, I've tried to put the bug in his ear, but some people are just set in their ways, you know. I'm gonna throw out one of our questions, Reef, since we on the relationship.
You know what? We gotta tie it. But listen, we gotta tie it in with that question. So
it's a relationship question.
It's a relationship question, but I want to let's tie it in with this one though. This
right.
Why are some black women happy to remain unmarried?
So I'm gonna take this one.
Okay.
I don't think that women are necessarily happy to remain unmarried. I think that one, a lot of men aren't really ready to commit, or they play these games. They say they want a relationship, they say they want to commit, but then they don't take the steps necessary to commit. And so I'll take me as a prime example. I'm single. I don't necessarily want to be single forever, especially at my age. But then when you get with men that are my age or a year or two older, they come across like, oh yeah, I want to be married. The relationship will start off great, and they'll say they have all these goals of being married, so on and so forth. But then when it's time to really put up or shut up, they ain't putting up. They're playing the games, or they start backpedaling when it's time to get to that point. And so then at some point you kind of go, you know what? I ain't got time. Right. Or they want you to start becoming someone that I'm not. I have a job. I have a career in real estate. And just because I have all those things, that I was doing that when you met me, don't think that I'm going to change because we are together. Don't think that you're going to ask me to give up anything that I am and that I was doing before I met you because I'm with you now. And don't try to say that I don't have time for you, because when I met you, I know how to juggle my schedule. I know how to arrange my life to be with the man. So don't try to hold that against me and then say, well, that's why we can't be together, or that's why we can't go further. No, if we're not going further, it's because you don't want to go further. So it's not that women are happy being single. It's that men start then backpedaling and putting up barriers. So at some point, the woman says, I ain't got time. Next. Or we just move on. Or we just say, you know what? I had a good life before you. I still have a good life with you. And my life does not revolve around being with a man. Because I can take care of myself. If I'm with a man, I'm with the man because I choose to be with the man, not because I need to be with the man. And then we just continue to move on and do what we got to do.
I mean, we're at a point now as women, especially Black women, we are self-sufficient in so many areas. So for you to accept a man in your life, like it has to be something that's more spectacular than how I'm already living. For my own personal story, what makes it more difficult for me to entertain marriages, I got married young. I was 20. My husband was 23. We were together for 12 years before he was killed. And it was a very solid, good marriage. So we started with nothing. We built together. We were truly a team. So I have a good framework. So for me to go into another situation, not to say I'm going to compare, but I already know what good looks like. So I'm not accepting half-ass.
Right.
So if you're not bringing something to the table, because I know what marriage should look like, what it should feel like what it should be like. Right, I'll pass. I'm cool. I'm cool with my life is full. I do my work and, I contribute to the community and everything. So if you're not bringing something that adds essence and value to my life, I'll take a pass.
But let me ask, is that like you said, you had a solid, relationship with your husband, but what I heard too is that you kind of compared what you had with him to the new guy, what you kind of expect out of the new guy because you had it so good here. So is that I don't want to say fair, but he's starting off kind of behind the eight ball because the standard is set so high for him. I see what you're saying. And just on like a personal level, like I think a lot of times too, guys, we tend to move on faster. And I'm saying this because I had got in contact with somebody that I dated from back in the day. Great woman and everything. And so I asked the question, I said, yo, you married? What's going on? You got kids? She was like, nah, I'm not married. And then I go, what? I'm like, how can you not be married? And she told me, and this is what I'm saying, when you're not letting stuff go and not giving other people a chance. But she said, you fucked me up. I was like, what? I said, how did I fuck you up? She said, every guy that I come across, I try and compare to what we had.
Comparison is a killer.
Up to it, and I just let them go. I'm not ready for that. And I'm like, but that's 20 years ago. I was like, you got to give somebody else a chance, So, I understand what you're saying and where you're coming from, but when a lot of guys, when it's hard for us, especially if the standard was set so high, now we feel, we ain't even got a chance, Right.
And I think this is part of what I tell men and women to do is like when relationships end, you got to take a moment and do your self work, right? You got to sit in the corner and do your self work. So I know I've done my time and I really try to move into the next situation and not compare, but also understand there is a standard, there's an expectation. Right. Like I'm not going to go from this to this, but I'm not comparing the next man to him. So, it makes it difficult. So I was in a marriage for 12 years. And when I got thrown back into the dating market at the age of 32, which was years ago, very different. It was very different. It seemed like everybody was self-absorbed. It's more me, 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 me. And it hadn't been that way, or I must have missed it. So the dynamics of dating had changed while I was married. So it's a very different world now. People are more so, what can I get versus how can we get and give together? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then I stepped back out into the dating world with stuff that I couldn't jeopardize losing. I had a daughter. I can't just bring men in and out of my child's life, right? I have material possessions that me and my husband have built. I can't just bring anybody out because I need to know where your head's at, what you're going to do. I can't afford to lose this while I'm trying to build something with you. So the dynamics of dating became different for me and more difficult, more complex for me than when I was 20 and didn't have a pot to piss in. It's like, hey, you make me feel good. Let's see if we can work this out. You know what I'm saying? It was just different. But, you know, I'm not comparing. It's just, the bar is just different now.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I'm not, saying you're comparing, but I understand that's a difficult situation to be in, especially when the standard was set so high. Because now you're in the position where you're like, well, in the back of your mind, you're like, well, you know what? He's got 80% of what I'm looking for. Am I willing to settle for that 80%? Or he's got 75% of what I'm looking for, or what I had in my other relationship. Now you're like, am I willing to settle for that? So I understand. I understand that position.
See, it's got to be some fear as well there, though. With them, when you leave, or you get divorced, or you're dating these guys and they're not ready, and you're constantly running into, bumps in the road. There's got to be some fear set in women that are telling themselves, that they say to themselves, like, hey, I'm just going to stay. I'm better off by myself. I'm better off single, so I don't get hurt. So, so they fear. I think there's fear there that they don't continue to push forward and say that they want to get back into, finding love or whatever. So I think a lot of it, to me personally, is, in my opinion, it's fear there after you've gone through some heartache and divorce and stuff, and afraid of, having to become divorced again, along with difficulty with trusting and stuff like that. So I think that's why a lot of women, like I said, it's my opinion that they stay single until something safe comes along that grasps their attention, that they say, this is a safer ride than everything else I felt. Even though somebody else could have been a good guy, but because they may have seen some signs, like they say, alerts, like red signs or whatever, and alerts like, oh, stay away. Then that's not necessarily true, but like I like personally, like I said, my opinion, I think it's just fair from past relationships and stuff.
I can see that.
I can see that.
Everybody got quiet. Hey, listen, I'm coming with the guns drawn. They're just.
Reef, I see you definitely got.
Hey, I got some guns over here, so I'm ready. Like, just no. But no, I'm just, and that's speaking from experience. Just like, she said that, she's like, hey, you fucked me up, and it's not that he fucked it up. It's that she never let go.
She didn't let go, right?
She didn't let go. It wasn't fucked up. It was a fear of, she didn't let go. She stayed holding on, and now every guy that comes, she's not really ready because her heart's not there. And I mean, that's another thing. It's a big thing to let go. Let go of the fear, let go of the past, let go of everything. You got to learn to let go so you can move forward and meet somebody. When you're in a better, with a, like, what do you call it? A clear, like just a blank canvas, something new that you can put your own painting on, not thinking about that guy or this girl or whatever. You got to have a blank canvas to start something new that's going to be beautiful for you too. Mm-hmm. It's never going to be the same like the past.
Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm ready for the next one. Let's go with the guns. I'm ready with the.
Throw the ball back in the ladies' court.
Throw the ball.
Okay, since we got on the subject of exes, all right. So how often do guys ever think about their ex or that one that got away?
Oh, another thing we talked about on the show. We talked about that, man. It was funny, man. It's a funny. You got to watch. Which episode was that? It's funny because I had pulled that out of sea.
Yeah,
the one that got away. It was a funny. It's a funny episode, but you know what? Let me tell you that it's not that you think about them as far as like, man, I wish and me, like, this is all my opinion, and you wish you had that, but when you're single, it does cross your mind like, wow, how could I have been so dumb or whatever? You let that get away or whatever. That was a good one right there. That was a good catch. And you might not have just been ready at that time because you may have been working on yourself. And I know for me that I do a lot of that self-assessing, and I work on myself before I want to bring somebody into my life, you know, so they don't stumble and come into anything that I'm dealing with, whatever it is. So it happens that, you know, it crosses your mind.
I think and with me, I think it's more of like, not what it could have been, but it's more of, I wonder what they're doing now, or, you know, sometimes it does cross your mind, but I don't think it's like, I wish I was with her now, or it's never been that way for me, because like I said, I think a lot of guys, we tend to move on faster when we feel that, you know, this relationship has run its course and it's to the end. That's how we look at it. You know, that it's the end. That's it, and we keep moving on. You know,
let it burn, like Usher said.
You don't tend to look in the rear view mirror. It's like, okay, we tried, it didn't work. It's time to move on, and we move on. And from what I've seen I think a lot of women have a hard time with the fact that men tend to move on more quickly. I'm not saying all men, but a lot of men tend to move on very quickly. But there's some guys that don't let go either. You know, and those are the guys who end up being stalkers and sitting out in front of your house.
Right.
But for the most part, I think men.
That's funny.
Men tend to move on quicker and not look back in the rear view mirror.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Now, this is going to be probably a touchy subject, but it comes up a lot. And this one is as far as, and I don't know if any of you ladies have any experience like dating interracially or whatever, but why is it that, and I don't like to put everybody in the box, but why is it that a lot of black women have a problem with a black man dating a white woman, but on the flip side, when a black lady dates a white man or marries a white man, all her female friends, the same ones who are putting down the black guy for dating a white woman, is like, oh girl, you got to come up. Look at you. Look at what you got here. Oh my goodness, you scored. Why is that? Why is the flip side like that?
Okay, I can't speak for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I can speak for me personally. I have dated white men. When I was in college, I went to Syracuse. So I dated white men in Syracuse. I dated white men after I came back from Syracuse between leaving for the Marine Corps. Living right there in the city, working at a law firm, I dated white men. I don't have a problem with interracial relationships in any way, shape, or form. You love who you love. You love who you are attracted to, white, black, Hispanic, whatever nationality they may be. What I have a problem with, and I think for me, why I may have a problem sometime with black men who date outside of their race, is when they put black women down as the reason why they are not dating black women.
Okay.
And I've heard it several times over being an active duty Marine. When black men would date Asian women, or when black men would date and or marry white women, and they would say, because y'all don't know how to treat a man. And I would look at them and say, what do you mean y'all don't know? You black women. Hold up. Because I'm a black woman and I know how I treat my man. So I don't know why you categorizing all of us in a box. Maybe you done hooked up with the wrong black woman, but don't lump all of us in one box. Now, if you are attracted to that white woman, or if you are attracted to Asian woman, then say that. I have a preference towards Asian women, but don't put a black woman down because Asian women or white women are your preference. Just say, for whatever reason, I'm attracted to white women. And I ain't got a problem with that. But when you tell me that you're dating white women and you're putting a black woman down as the reason why, that's what I have a problem with. not because you are dating white women or because you're dating outside of your race. I dated white men because that's who I was attracted to. I didn't ever put any black men down while I was dating white men. Mm-hmm. At the moment, that is who I was attracted to. They came at me correctly. They treated me nicely. I was attracted to them. I had a great relationship with them. And when the relationship ended, we ended on great terms. And I probably would have married a white man had my father said, I'm not good with this. And out of respect for my father, I stopped dating the white man that I was dating, and I never dated a white man after that. Mm-hmm. Okay. From that point on, because my father was not okay with it. Now, my father is dead and gone, but out of respect for my father and what my father said to me as a black man, I never dated another white man after that. Okay. But again, my dating a white man, I never put a black man down. I dated a white man because that's who I was attracted to.
Okay. Right. Now can I ask a question? And you know, you can share it if you like, and if not, you don't have to. What was it that your father? What was the reasoning behind it?
So my father had an issue with the fact of me dating a white man because at that time my father had served in World War II, and so he explained to me how African American soldiers were treated by the white soldiers. When he came back, he worked for the transit department, and he again explained to me how black officers were treated by white officers, and also how my mother was treated in South Carolina as a black woman. And so he had issues with race in general. And once my father sat me down and said, I need you to understand this. He said, are you going to do what you want to do? But I need you to understand where I'm coming from as a black man and why this bothers me as a black man and as your father. And I said, okay, Daddy. And so and don't get me wrong, the guy that I was dating, we went out to dinner. We worked at the same law firm. He brought me home. He wanted to meet my parents. I introduced him to my mother and father. He was very respectful. And my father even said, he seems like a very nice man, but I need you to understand where I'm coming from. Right. And once he sat down and we talked, but he also said, but don't bring him back here again. And once my father and I talked, and he said that, my father was 6'5", and he said, but don't bring him back here again. Right. I said, not a problem. I walked him back out to the front door of the building on 112th Street and Madison Avenue. And I said, we can't see each other no more. And we did not. Now, we remained friends at work. We could have lunch together, but there was no more going out. There was no more dating. It was dead. That was the end of that. And I never dated a white man after that.
Mm-hmm. But, you know, and going back, now you kind of see, like I was saying early in the first question, how much influence how you were raised or how much your parents have over you when it comes to being in your relationship. Now, if you're a father and you telling your son, look, your woman is not to back talk you at anything. If your woman back talks you, this is your problem, and you're not a real man if she does this and does that. If dinner's not on the table by 6.
Mary, who gives a damn? Boy, if you gonna let this little nappy-head gal sit here and cuss you out like that, you sitting at the head of your own dinner table and you acting like a waiter.
So again, right. that just said, because of her father's influence, regardless of how she felt about who she was in the relationship with, because of her father's influence, she had to stop dating this guy. So again,
I didn't have to stop, but out of respect for my father,
out of respect.
I want to be able to bring anybody that I'm dating, if I'm really feeling it, I want to be able to bring them home. And I knew that I could not bring that man back in my parents' house. And I want to be able to respect the person that I'm dating and ultimately respect my father. Because my father, I idolize my father. Right. You know, me and my father would sit on the couch and on the bed and watch the Giants together. So I idolized my father. I was a daddy's girl. And if I can't bring the man that I'm dating home to sit down on the couch on a Sunday and watch the game with my father, then you can't come home with me. We can't kick it because me and daddy gonna watch the game together.
Right.
And if
I respect that.
Sit down and watch the game with me and daddy, then I guess you can't come. And I'm not gonna be sneaking behind my dad's back to see a man.
I got you. Yeah.
And I just want to add to what she said. I don't have any problems with interracial relationships, no matter which way it goes. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times what I find is when you start to unpack them mentally, psychologically, there's some baggage that is there that people don't, like she said, you're going to be with a white woman, but you're going to bash sisters, or you're going to be with a white guy, but you're going to bash brothers on it. That's unhealthy to me. So you've got some stuff going on that you haven't worked out yet. And that means the totality of your relationship, your interracial relationship, is not healthy in itself. That's the only problem I have with them, is some of them don't seem healthy to me. Right. I've seen, babies come out and, mothers calling the kids names that I would, no, you can't call them, no, no. So it seems unhealthy to me sometimes.
Okay. Well, Lane, it sounds like you never dated outside your race.
I've dated some New Yorkers. Does that count? I've dated some New Yorkers.
I'm with it. That's
I dated too. Yeah, but yeah, I've dated.
I'm with it.
The ship just stopped someplace else, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah. That's funny. All right, who's on the ladies? Yeah.
Sir. Yep.
What makes you think, when it comes to Black relationships, why our great-grandfather, great-grandmother managed to stay together till death do us part, and today we can't seem to get it together to do that?
See, I'll let you go on that one. Come back to me. That's I'll let you go. You start up, man.
I think that back then, especially the time that great granddad and great grandmom were coming in, they had to be strong for each other because of everything that was going on. They had to really hold each other down amidst all of the racial tension. A lot of us were poor back then, and just the struggle that you went through with this person. I think when you go through struggle like that with somebody by your side, I can't see how the bond could not grow stronger. And that's a bond, I think, over time, and all of that struggle is a bond that's hard to break. And now I don't think people go through struggle enough. I think it's just like, what can I get out of this? For how long can I get out of this? And when I'm not getting this out of this, I'm out. Mm-hmm. There's no, and not just in relationships, but there's no real commitment to anything anymore. I mean, you go back if you go back all the way back, and I'm not just talking about Black people, but you go all the way back to like the early 1900s when people were living off of 40 cents a week. They banded together, everybody, Black, white, whoever had a job and was getting paid 40 cents a week, said basically they committed themselves to, look, my kids can't live like this. I don't want this world for my kids. And they committed. And when I say committed, they were like, look, everybody power whatever goods and stuff they got, and we going to share it.
Like the question you were just asking, I think as far as for me, I think just to break, as for Black families, it's what's put out into the media to break the Black families apart, to break them up, because we're weaker, not together.
That's true.
Yeah.
So to separate us and to keep us, that person over here, that person over there, and that hate for the Black man from a Black woman, and the same thing from a Black woman to a Black man. Yeah, that's what they keep projecting. That's what they keep showing. So we're not going to get stronger, and we're not going to stay together because we don't see. It doesn't look, happy, that happiness and that peace. Like, well, why would I want to do that when I can just be by myself? And
mm-hmm.
What you're seeing online in the media, in the media and stuff.
Commitment that people had back in the day, it's hard to find that today because there's so many distractions and even television, for example. I mean, when great grandpa and great grandma was coming up, there wasn't like no TV, and if you had the money, you had a radio. So when they came home, it was conversation and working together and building,
Right.
And also they weren't connected all day. You know, now you got to text your boo thing 3 times a day. You got to like her pictures while you were at work, whatever. You know, so I guess we weren't connected as much. So I could miss you.
Yeah.
Right. There was no missing. Right. Yeah. Right. And they don't have nothing to talk about because they done talk the entire day already when they get home.
Wasn't no distractions, and their 19 children is proof of that.
Right. 19's right. Yeah. They was making babies back then. No. They was doing it.
Yep.
It was on. No.
Doing it well.
Family time. Everybody's got a device at the kitchen table. They don't eat dinner together anymore. You eat dinner on the go. And if you
that was one
have dinner together, everybody's got a device and you're watching TV while you're eating. There's no real family unity anymore.
Yeah.
That was one of my rules when I was married. Is that when we went into a restaurant, we leave our phones in the car. So then that way we have conversations at the table, you know what I mean, at the table versus everybody on a cell phone around the table and nobody's talking, you know? So I was like, nah, we leave these phones here. We're not coming these robots where you're just sitting there, the whole family's there, food comes, nobody's talking, they eat, and then they leave. And it's like, you're talking to people that are not even with you. You know what I mean? Right. So we're not like we were saying, we're not connected anymore. So that's why these relationships are failing because nobody has a real connect. They think they're connected with this phone, but it's doing more damage than anything because they rather be with this phone than the person that they're with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they have more access to everybody. So they could talk to 20 different people versus that one person. So they get bored with that one person. So yeah, I think the connection is gone. Back in the days, there was real connections. You really went out and met a girl and went on real dates. You know, you got to know her. You really wanted to get to know her. Ride the train. You talked on it. Hold the train. You ride on. Take the bus. It was a real. We were forming a bond. You know, now you just swipe and I don't want them. I don't want her. I don't want him.
Grocery store. You at the grocery store.
Right.
Do I want the Diet Coke or the regular
what?
Coke?
Right. It's just sad that right. Too many options. It's just and it's like that old. What was I saying? A man is as faithful as his options, but I think that's everybody now. Mm-hmm. Everybody is as faithful and committed as their options. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you got 200 different things, it's like, I don't got to do this. I could be doing this over here. So yeah. So that the commitment is not there. The connection is not there. So that's why relationships are no longer like back in the days, like grandma, grandfather and grandma.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but then they see these commercials, divorce $99, So you run into the minute you run into a bump in the road, the first thing you say is, I don't need this shit. Let me just go ahead and file the papers. Mm-hmm. I'm out. We have made it too easy to quit than it is to stay.
Mm-hmm. And
I agree.
When I was going through my process of being a young wife, I would always go and sit at my grandmother and my auntie's kitchen table and like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Can you help me out? But I notice in today's generation, like when I go to YouTube, it seems like a lot of, especially the women, want to follow men, relationship gurus to tell them what to do. And that's a new experience for me because I always had a woman tell me how to be a wife versus listen to a bunch of dudes tell me how to be a wife. But it seems like there's a shift, and I don't know if that's contributing to some of the dynamics that we see now, but you've got all these male, guys telling women what they should do and should not do. And that's not how I grew up. My grandma and mama told me what to do.
Well, because you don't have that family dynamic anymore. Mm-hmm. You got mothers and grandmothers who are barely 30 and 40 years old. Mm-hmm. They don't even know how to really be a mother or a wife or a grandma, let alone a grandmother. And you got grandmothers who don't want to be called grandmama.
Mm-hmm. I'm a grandma. What is that? A grandma. What is that?
And then too, I don't think a lot of people realize that the male dynamic has changed too, because you have a lot of males who were raised by single mothers now. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I say it on the show all the time. You know what? I give all props to all single mothers, but it is hard for a single mother to raise a man. Mm-hmm. It's hard. it's hard, especially when he doesn't have a positive male role model. All he's going to get is the woman's perspective of what a man should be. And you're starting to see that, you know, in today's society. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, mothers are naturally nurturers. I know me as a dad, I rough my son up. You know, I teach him how to handle himself. I teach him how to fight, you know, but a lot of mothers don't do that. And these cats are growing up. They can't fight. They're scared to be in the streets. So now they're carrying guns because it's too embarrassing to get beat up now. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the male dynamic has changed too.
Yeah, growing up, it was, you know, there's going to be a fight after school, even in the back, 3:00, everybody meet up, you know, but.
Oh, ain't no more of that. There's none of that.
None of that.
It's they'll get on Snapchat or one of those Twitters or whatever and then start talking shit about each other, like thinking they're doing something. Like, yeah, I sent you an emoji. Look at that emoji, man. Mm-hmm. You know, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, but
and no takeaway from cyberbullying at all. But until you've been bullied in real life, trying to go to school every day, you do not know what bullying is.
Bullying is.
I don't even know.
All you got to do is turn your goddamn computer off, and that's it. You end cyberbullying. It's over. Stop looking at it. It's so easy. You can just get out of it. But you know, it's definitely a different. So who's on this question? This is us, cuz.
Yeah, it's on y'all now.
Okay, this one I want to know this one. This is
okay. Come on.
Warm the hands up. No. Why is a woman's monthly cycle a part of the relationship?
Hold up. It is only a part of the relationship unless it's a part of the relationship for you. If it's an issue for you, then it becomes a part of the relationship. I mean, the type of woman I'm gonna make my man happy. So whatever way you want to flow with it, I'm gonna flow with it. So if it's an issue for you, then it's a part of the relationship.
Right.
That's all. Some women are not like that, but I'm here to please my man. So whatever you want to do, we gonna roll, we gonna rock. I'm gonna lean with it, rock with it. So if it's an issue for you, then it's an issue for the relationship.
Right. Okay. Annette, how about you?
I don't have that issue no more. So I'm beyond that.
All right, yeah.
You ain't gotta worry about that with me. I don't have that issue.
But I'm saying, when you had that issue, was it a part of your
issue? Like Lana said, first of all, that's where being in a relationship, you have those open and upfront conversations at the beginning of the relationship to say, hey, when it's that time, how do you feel about that? Because my cycle gonna come on right around this particular week every month. So when it's that time, what you want to do? Because we can do. There's still other things that we can do. I got a mouth. There's other places that we can still be fulfilled with. And
right.
Are you okay with that?
It's up to you.
But it's up to you. But you have to be able to have those open and direct conversations with your partner. And if you got that's super straight lace and very vanilla, they may not be okay with doing certain other things. They might be like, nah, we just have to wait. Well, then that's on you, boo. Just understand that I'm still good with it.
Right.
And that also might go into the myth I've heard before that Black women are not as let me be politically sexually open as other races, you know, so maybe some of that is playing into that, but really it's really on you guys as a man. Whatever you want to do, I'm ready to roll with it. Right. That's your call. That's your call.
And I was actually, that question was, I mean, that way as well. That the way you guys answered was good, but it was also a part of it. It's saying when that time of the month comes, some women can't handle their emotions behind it.
Oh, we weren't even thinking about the emotion part.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about the other side of it.
No, you know, I mean, about the emotion.
Oh, you wasn't even thinking about that side.
No.
Well, that's why. Why not? I want to know.
You were trying to figure out. You talking about getting busy. That's the see where we at. We was about getting busy. We ain't thinking about nobody's emotions. What? We gonna do this or what? We got what? We gonna do this or what? I'm gonna be home for lunch for an hour. We gonna do this or what?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
We want to think about the emotions.
All right. No, that's so you answered my question. So it's not everybody doesn't go through that. You know what I mean?
But maybe because you're talking to seasoned women. Maybe if you
seasoned women, right?
Ask that question of a 20-something-year-old girl who was still, emotionally just all over the place at that time, you would have got a different answer. But we done been around the block a couple times now. So.
Yeah.
Seasoned greetings, right. I get it. I got it. That's good. No, you answered it. So you guys come with that last one, and then we'll come with our last one.
So back in the day, me and my boo, we would go to JC. We get dressed up and go to JC Penney's or Sears, take a picture. Then we'd go give the 5x10 to grandma, whatever. Give 8 by the wallets to the friends. But now you got to take a picture when we're in the restaurant. We got to take a picture when we're in the car. We got to post it to social media. How do you guys feel as men having your relationships on social media 24/7, 365?
Me, I can answer that real quick. I never really had to deal with that.
Okay.
There was, there was my dating era where I was like dating. I dealt with that with younger women. Mm-hmm. When I dated somebody that was in their 30s, the millennial group, I dealt with that as far as wanting to take, but you don't deal with that with older women over 40. You don't deal with that at all. Mm-hmm. It's not as big to, like you said, seasoned women, like you just said, seasoned women don't need, they just need you. They want you around. That's it. They good with you, with you guys. So, so me personally, I've never, like I said, younger women, yeah, but older women, no. I never do. I don't deal with that.
Yeah.
How about you, C?
No, I never had a problem with it as long as it's the truth. Now, if you with somebody and y'all are always cuddly, snuggly, face to face, holding hands and stuff in the street and stuff like that, but you see a lot of the posts today is people only showing the good part of the relationship. I'm like, if you're going to show the good part, you have to show some of the bad parts too. Let people know what's really going on.
Or somebody was sleeping on the couch that night, right?
Take a picture of me and I'm on punishment and I'm sleeping.
Right. That's funny.
Take that picture too. Don't just post all the good stuff. You
right.
You want to show people how it is. Show them how it really is. Right. But we had this discussion before, Reed. I think that's part of the problem with kids today. All they see on the internet is the good stuff.
They don't see no bad, right?
Good. Everything is good.
But see, that's why but I think that's what brings on depression, because then they can't keep, like we talked about it last episode. They're not really running their own race. They're trying to keep up with something that's fake, and you can't keep up with fake. It's impossible. So. In their relationships, they're like, damn, why am I arguing with her all the time, or I'm doing this, or whatever it is, and then they see their friend posting these pictures, or celebs posting these pictures, and they're like, oh, so they hate their own lives or hate how their life is going because, like she said, they're not seeing the truth. They're not seeing, like, that person has bad times. Jay-Z, Beyonce has bad times. John Legend, his wife has bad times. They do. But people, like I say all the time, comparison is a killer. If you learn and understand how to stop comparing yourself to everything else, you'll be good. It'll eliminate depression, anxiety, and everything. If you just stop comparing and be cool with you. Like, listen, we do this, whatever. Take a picture when y'all arguing. That's it. Look, this. Just keep it real. Just keep it thorough.
For real, yeah.
Social media is a beast for relationships,
Yes.
Oh yeah. I've seen people break up behind it. Like, people want to put their stuff out there. It's like, that's another thing. What happened to the discretion and the privacy? Mm-hmm. What happened to that?
And then
on social media, there's buttons be private. You could put private on there, but
when you're having an argument, they're arguing on social media for strangers and people that are not even in your relationship. And I'm like, this is between me and you. Why is us out here?
Yeah, right. They're arguing on live now.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy.
It is. It's that attention, man. Anything for a like, anything for some views. Popularity plays a big part now, Back in the days, we had two popular people. You know what I'm saying? Like the most popular or whatever. Now it's everybody wants that. Everybody wants it. And we was okay with it. If they were the most popular, we were cool. Like, all right, that's who they are. All right, cool.
Yeah.
But now it's a threat, I think, to people, you know, just, I got to be popular. I got to be, you know, I got to be something. But it's confusing them, you know, it's confusing them big time.
And you can't sustain that long term. I mean,
No.
I mean, when you look at social media and you look at a lot of the imagery that's projected. So just on the female side, I look at a lot of these, I can't say just young chicks, but the female projection of this era, the maintenance from head to toe, you know, and I'm looking like a guy, if you're expecting a guy to come into your life and maintain you like that 7 days a week, that's unrealistic. He can't, a 9-to-5 dude or a regular guy with a job can't fit you like that day to day. That's unrealistic. I just think that we are putting a lot of financial weight on guys too, as women. Well, these younger women are, you know, he's got to buy me this, and you know, he's got to, you know, I got to go to it's $100 coming out the nail shop. You know, he can't do that every 2 weeks. That's the light bill, that's the gas bill, that's food in the refrigerator. You know, you got to be realistic about what life really is, and I think social media doesn't give you the realities of what life is.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
I agree. Yeah.
See, last question on you, man.
Last question's on me.
Yeah.
Lady, and I gotta ask. gotta ask this. Why? And I'm gonna have to say black women, okay? A lot of black women. But why are black women so fussy about their hair? Seriously, let's bring it up. To understand. And I've dated a lot of black women, and it's always been an issue. I'm like, when I was dating, you know, like, okay, I'm coming to get you. We're going to go away for the weekend. We're going to go hang out down at the beach or whatever. Why are you going to get your hair done? If I say we're going to the beach, that means there's water involved. So why are you getting your hair done?
Mm-hmm.
Why? And then not only that, they get their hair done, and then they sleeping in the bed like this all night long. Like this, because they don't want to mess up with you. I'm like, I'm here to have fun and be honest. I don't know about you, Reef, but I don't give a shit. Done or not. You can pull it in the ponytail if you want. You can put it in 2 Afro puffs on the side of your head. I don't care.
Give a shit, right? That's how I feel. I don't give a shit.
Especially in long-term relationships, and I remember it's the truth. But D.L. Hughley said this. He was like, you know, you got a lot of black women out there who are not taking care of their bodies because of their hair. I'm not going to the gym because I'm gonna sweat out my hair. I'm not going to work out. I'm not going for a walk because I'm gonna end up sweating out my hair or messing up my hair. And he was like, you worry so much about your hair. You know what'll really fuck your hair up? Diabetes and chemo.
Right.
If you're worried about your hair, yeah, seriously. I think a lot of guys, the hair does not matter to us. I have yet to lay up in the bed after being with the lady I was with at the time and say, yo, that hair was magnificent.
I did not give
magnificent hair. Woo!
No, never did it. I never was like, damn, we had a great time because of that hair, boy. Yeah. Let me hit it again because of that hair.
On the other hand, it ends up being a problem because, like I said, if you're going away for the weekend, you want to have some fun. You want to get in the pool, splash water around, and
I told you, no. Listen, I dealt with that, man. I went, when I was married, took my wife to a resort. I'm like, all right, we're gonna, have fun. We had the resort. Boom, she got her hair done. We get in the pool. We got some drinks. Everybody does. But so I'm standing there in the pool. We're in the pool. Boom. I'm thinking I'm ready to play with her because I'm watching every other couple play. They splashing their girls in, coming up with the water glistening. And I'm like, all right, I'm ready to do this, have some fun. She's like, you better not. I just got my hair done. I said, why did we come to the resort then? We're supposed to be having fun. It's the pool. So we had a argument that night about hair, about not touching that hair. I was like, all right. So, but it's not a big thing. I think if women realize we don't really give a shit, we like you. Listen, look, let me be real. This is the real unapologetic. We want to take them drawers up. That's it. We ain't trying to hear. The hair don't matter. Just give us the drawers. That's it. Give us the. That's all we want. We don't give a shit about the. Listen, you could do whatever. You put anything on the hair. Put a cap on. I don't care. Just listen. That's it. We don't really care. Like even all that stuff.
Yeah, we put it out there to let women know. You seriously, we really don't care.
Right. We really don't. We don't sit. Men don't sit around talking about it.
It becomes a hindrance to us, especially like you want to go out, you want to have some fun. Or how many times have you heard this? You trying to be spontaneous? Yo, let's go this.
Right.
Let's
go.
No,
I gotta.
Here.
You can't.
I can't. My hair's.
I gotta do my hair right.
How you want me to be spontaneous if every time I gotta make an appointment? You gonna get your hair done? I want to be spontaneous, but go ahead and make your appointment. So I can be spontaneous.
It's impossible. That's why I like a girl with a base. She throw a baseball cap on. I'm cool. Like, yep, let's get out of here. Let's dip out. Let's go. I don't care about the hair. We don't care about the hair. So answer that, please. Give us an answer.
Because I got the hair. So I will take that question first. It used to bother me at first about the hair. Now, I will not say I got to go make a hair appointment because I live too far away from my beautician. So I have learned how to adjust. But I will tell you, when I was dating my significant other, for the longest time, I would wrap my hair at night. And a couple times he would call me at the last minute and be like, hey, babe, I'm on my way over. I'm like, huh? You doing what? So now I had to unwrap my hair and take my bonnet down. Because to this day, he has never seen me with my hair wrapped up and my bonnet on or rollers in my hair. But my hair is curled, but he has never seen that. Because I will wrap my hair and put my bonnet on and put my curlers in on nights when he is not over. I will do my hair, but I will never say we can't go out or do because I got to go get my hair done. No. If he wanted to say today, let's go to the beach tomorrow, we can go to the beach. And I will blow my hair out when we come back out in the water. Go get in the water, go have fun, go splash around. I go to the gym at least 3 days a week. It's going to sweat out. I already know it's going to sweat out. That's what blow dryers are for. Mm-hmm. That's what a shower cap is for. When I get in the shower, I'll be okay. It's hair. I'm not one of those women. Don't get me wrong. I like to look good. I have to look good for work. I have to look good when I'm with my real estate clients. I do like to look good. But that's me. That's always been me. I was raised to look a certain way, that women should look like a lady. Women wear dresses. Women get their nails done. Women take care of their hair. You portray a certain image because when people see you, you only have one opportunity to make a good first impression. So this is just me all the time, naturally. That's just who I am and how I am at all times. But at the same time, like you said, the man isn't necessarily with you for your hair, but I'm gonna make sure that if I walk out the door, I'm not walking out with a shower cap or a bonnet on my head.
Oh, not like these little girls.
Right. But don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna make sure that when we go out, my hair is gonna be done, but not to the point where I can't have fun and enjoy myself, or that it's going to become a hindrance to us enjoying the weekend. I'm not one of those women who is so caught up and hung up on my hair that it stops all the other fun. But am I going to make sure that if you say, hey, babe, we're going out to dinner, we're going to do this. Oh, I might say, okay, well, for that, I need to go get my hair done. So you have to understand the difference in what are we doing. If it's a beach thing, I'm not going to go get a freshly done hairdo at the beautician. Am I going to curl it myself? Yes. Am I going to understand that it's going to get sweated out and it's likely to get messed up in the water? Yes. But if it's we're going to an upscale restaurant and we're going to go out for a certain type of weekend or a certain type of event, then that's a different story. So it's a matter of understanding what's the plan. What are we doing? But like you said, Reef, in your situation, she knew y'all were going to the resort to be at the water, to be at the pool. Now, that wasn't a go get your hair done at the beautician type of event. That was a take me as I am. My hair going to get jacked up. And as long as they got a blow dry and I got my curling iron, I could make that work. And don't get me wrong, I'm also a girl that I'll throw in the baseball cap in a minute as long as it's a New York Giants. We good.
There you go.
Right. Nah, me personally, I like some sweaty hair. That's good, just cool.
And I think also part of it is, as women, we're getting conflicting messages, and we don't know how to properly package it because we know men are visual creatures,
right?
But we don't understand the visual part that y'all want. Or this, it's not this. Y'all like, oh, is the sundress? Let me see the sundress flowing. Let me see what that looked like. So, we haven't really nobody's explained to us fully that y'all ain't caring about this, whether or not the fingernail polish match, y'all just want to see all of that. Right. And then for me personally, it's pre-planning. If I know I'm going to the beach with you, I'm just going to throw some braids in my hair for the week that we there. And I'm not going to worry about anything, babe. Let's do this, whatever that, but it's just, I think, we want to look, well, I can't even say that. Because sometimes women are competing with other women, so the look.
Yes. I think y'all do that too. Yeah, I think that's
I really can't say but
when y'all say I'm trying to look good for myself, I think it's for everybody else.
We want to compete ourselves, but a lot of it is like competing with. We definitely compete against other women,
right.
And we compete against other women because we also know that men, like Lana said, men are visual, and so you might be with your woman. But we always are thinking about the fact that let some other chick walk by that might look better than us. We ain't trying to have you turn your head and look at that hell too. Mm-hmm. So we trying to make sure that you always got eyes on us.
Because granted, my body might be badam, but if my body is badam and I'm having a bad hair day and she walked by and she badam with a good hair day, you're gonna be like, whoa, what's that?
Yeah. That's always on our mind. That is always top of mind for women.
Because you can go back. You can go back to.
For most guys, though, when the body is down, I couldn't tell you if she had short hair or long hair.
Okay, that's the case for y'all, but that's not how we think. We don't. It's always okay. What's that one thing that's going to set us apart from her? So if both of us got badam bodies, and we got badam body, she got badam body, but her hair looking a little bit better. What's going to set me apart from her? We don't know what you all are thinking. So
that's too much. Y'all analyzing way too much.
To one up her.
No, okay. So let me break it down. Just basic, simple science. It's Darwin's theory, survival of the fittest. Whoever has the most to survive this rat race of getting the man's attention, so that I can, hook up with him and pass. I got to be the total package. So some of that is just the wiring. You know what I'm saying? I got to be the complete package to keep you focused here. Here, your blinders are on. You can't see nothing else but here. And some of that is like I got to be from head to toe. I got to be fly.
And I mean, don't think men don't like. We appreciate the effort that goes into it. You know what I mean? We do. We definitely appreciate the effort that you guys put into doing the hair, keeping your nails done. But at the end of the day, it's about them draws.
Oh yeah, and trust me, but in a long-term relationship, be honest with me. So you come home day after day, hard day at work, and your wife just looking any old kind of way, day after day.
You know what? There's a time that I definitely, because I've said it, you do like that, but it doesn't have to be every day. It don't have to be all the time. It's because I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna lay around my sweats and I'm gonna chill, and it's
gray sweatpants. You gonna put on the gray sweatpants?
That's it. Yep. That's funny, right? That's what's gonna go down. We just chilling, throw Netflix on. That's it. But no, guys.
As long as it's being mixed up, we
right, the mix up. We want the mix up.
And that's just comfort zone, I think, with the relationship, babe. I love you as you are, and you make us feel comfortable that this is cool. Because we have insecurities as women, and because the competition is big out there.
It is big out there, right? It's fierce. Like 10 women to a man, right?
Yes,
I understand.
Can I ask one more question real quick?
Yes. Go ahead. Bring it. Yeah.
I got one question.
Yeah.
In a relationship, when you're in a relationship, why is it so deflating to a man to for his woman to cheat versus if he cheats?
Mm.
Why is it more pain? Why? I mean,
it
just hurts y'all.
I'm gonna go down a little list because one, men are like lions, very territorial. You know, they run their territory. They don't want nobody in their territory. On the other side, we're built off of ego. That's why egos need to be stroked. You know what I mean? We're built off of ego. And then let me see. That's 1, 2. The third thing would be we're not built with emotions. We don't understand how we're not built and based off of emotion. That's you guys. You guys have that. Men are not built like that. So for me, and I'm gonna say this because if I did that, and the way my mindset is, my mental is, if I cheated and she cheated, I'm gonna have to accept that one because I did the same thing. You know what I mean? So if I did something and she went out and did that, are we gonna have a talk? Because I'm gonna throw it out there, like 2 wrongs don't make a right. You know, even it don't. You know what I mean? But if I did do it and she did it, there's no reason for me to say she's any worse than me. You know what I mean? It's. I think a lot of guys who do that, I think it's a sucker. You got to, if you can do it, you should be able to deal with it too. Mm. You know what I mean? You should be able to deal with it. If you're gonna be doing it, if you're gonna be cheating, then you should be able to deal with that and expect it. Actually, expect it. You know what I mean?
But a lot of guys don't expect it, even when they're doing it.
Yeah.
I think, and then they're like, well, how dare she? How dare she?
Because they don't want to. The thing is being invincible is great. It's serious. So when everything is invisible and they're behind the scenes and they're not getting caught, then it's good. But or once they find out that she did it, I think it. All right. So I had a buddy that happened to. Let me say it. I had a buddy and I knew how he got down. But the time his girl did it this one time, I mean, and I talked about this on episode, that was the same time that he was sitting outside. He found out she was with somebody else. So he was sitting outside stalking everything. But I mean, I knew what he did. I knew his numbers was great. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And yeah, he was moving around the city and she did it once. And it was like he lost everything. You know what I mean? He just was like I said, it's that ego. That ego gets bruised. It's like, I can do this, I can do that. And she can't. But that's not living in reality. Reality is that, like I said, men and women we're all built up the same, except our parts, our personal parts. They're different. Other than that, if she feels like doing it and that's the way her mindset is, she's gonna do it. Women cheat. Your guys are just smoother. That's it. You guys are real smooth with it, and nobody's gonna tell. Nobody's telling on. No. Don't get Quincy, gotta get quiet, cuz every time we say this question on there, the women that are they get quiet, like, well, don't tell. It's like a signal goes out, like, don't say nothing. No, women cheat. You guys are quiet with it.
Yeah, women. Well, I mean, yes, women do cheat. I'm not gonna say that. Yeah. I just noticed that it affects the guys. It's devastating. And I'm like, but I just saw you with 10 different chicks last week. Right, like, why are you so upset? I mean,
yeah, it's that ego. That ego is like, you know what that ego is like? It's like a woman's emotions. It's just like her being in her emotions for something when she's in love with somebody and she can't let go. That's how a man is with his ego. It gets bruised because he's thinking he's this guy. Like, yeah, I smashed 10. I did this. I got that. And she goes do one, or she can just kiss a guy or hold hands with him. He's losing it. You know what I mean? Because it just crushed who he thought he was. And then the reality comes in like, nah, that's not you. That dude got her. So it's like, yeah. So I mean, it's something that I think men got to check themselves too. Like, if you don't like it, stop doing it. Yeah. Like, if you can't handle it, then stop cheating. Don't do it if you can't handle it.
Then you hear a lot of guys say it's not natural to be monogamous. No animal in the animal kingdom is monogamous. It's not natural to be monogamous.
Right. I've heard guys argue that. You know what? I'm going to let see.
He's like, look, let me exit on this one.
I gotta tap him in on this one.
Let me go on back up out of this conversation.
I'm going to tag him in. This is a wrestler here, WWE.
No, but yeah, I mean, I honestly think that's the truth because, and you've heard me say this plenty of times on the show. I take everything back to the basics, and whether we like to agree with it or not, we are a part of the animal kingdom, and the same things that apply in the wild basically apply to us. There are more women on this planet than there are men. When a lion is the head of his pride, he has 10, 15 lionesses, right. You know? That's the way nature made it. But somewhere along the line, we decided that no, it's good for men and women to be monogamous. Now, is it natural? I don't think so. I don't think that's a natural state for us. But we tended to follow that rule for however long, whenever it got started, but like Reef said, I think a lot of it, you the lion and you the male lion and you got your pride, you feel that those lionesses are territory. And
that's right.
I think what hurts guys the most is not that another lion came in and took it, is that she willingly gave it.
Right. That's it.
I think he could deal with it more if he was another lion and they fought and he lost and he had to give up his pride. Yeah, he could take that. But when his lionesses are just giving it up to the other lion, he's going to have a problem with that.
Right, real, yeah. No, that's real.
Have a problem with it.
Simba and Mufasa go say, "Come on here, girl. We need to talk. Come on, girl. We need to talk."
For real, that is real.
Okay.
No, but did that answer?
It's the same. Y'all the men folk, and y'all just, it's the same answer all the time. It's the same answer all the time.
No, like I said, I think everybody cheats, and
I said what's good for them is not good for us.
Yeah, it's the same answer all the time. And now, with today's mentality, women are, they're feeling the sense of empowered or different levels of feminism, whatever you want to call it. They're feeling like, I can go out there and do just what y'all are doing. And when they do, it's like, oh.
Y'all get this serious knife in the heart. Like, what?
She's just doing what you did. What's the problem, man? What's the problem, man?
Yeah, I just think it's not normal for
take that spoonful of medicine. Take that spoonful of medicine.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're right.
With today's world, when you start looking at the numbers or whatever, it's not really safe to be doing all of that in the first place.
No doubt.
I'm just saying, but when it happens, I'm like, come on, let's be fair about it. Let's be fair. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you. I agree with that. Yeah, it should be. It should be.
I play my card, you play your card. Come on now.
It comes down to having those hard, honest conversations. If that's the lifestyle y'all want to lead, then
but listen,
talk about it. If you and you got to be honest with it. You say, look, if y'all are dating and y'all thinking about taking that next step, you got to be honest as a man and be like, look, babe, I know you want to be married. I would love to spend the rest of my life with you, but seriously, I don't know if I could give up the other lionesses. I don't know. A lot of guys,
you know what? I got to speak for some of the guys. Some of the guys are doing that now. See, because they're talking about poly. They're making that
it's very popular these days.
They're making it popular now, where it's like, I'm in the poly, and you see women, they're speaking about it like, they're cool with that.
Right, but that's my point. They're talking about it up front
instead of it keeping it behind the scenes. Right, I'm with you.
You might have to say, and the same thing for women too. Women might be like, look, I love you to death. I love being with you, but I'm gonna need a little bit more variety sometime. And then if y'all come to an agreement, that's between y'all. Mm-hmm. That's between y'all as an adult couple. If that's what works for y'all, then that's what works. But if it's that way, I see nothing wrong with it as long as y'all are both open and upfront about it.
Right. Yeah,
I guess that's where the problem is. You don't give anybody, you don't tell anybody up front, so you don't give them an option to say, "I'm voluntarily participating in this or not." You don't share the conversation. You don't have the dialogue. So, and I think for me, it would be, I think sometimes it's like the other people you're choosing are not of the same caliber, so it's insulting at some point in time. So,
okay, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but let's end this episode, and I want to end this episode with this question, and I want to start making it a part of all the episodes. If you can turn back time, this to Lena and Annette, if you can turn back time and talk to your 16-year-old self, what would you tell her?
Stash more of your paper than you spend.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely say the same thing. Definitely think twice about how you spend your money, and choose wisely. Make some better decisions in terms of how you invest, what you spend, and life choices.
Okay. You know, this is another episode of the Real and Unapologetic Podcast. I was your host, Unapologetic Reef, and dropped off C. All right, cuz.
All right.
All right, one.
Yep.
Yeah. Tired of shit. Let me set this shit for
Let's drop that shit.
It's 3 a.m. on the side. Let them hoes all dick ride. Loyalty is like royalty, and I ain't changing up my good side to fuck around with no EI. I kill a nigga, I'm no good guy. It's potent hair, no shit guy. She love that dick, I got that hook guy. Let me straight in the eyes with the hope of a nigga. Don't run from a nigga when you love. Fuck a nigga, just love when a nigga don't let these hoes talk you away from a good nigga. Cause they all pussy ain't got no nigga. No upgrade, still in they figure. I'm telling you, girl, they all sharp. And you the big picture.